Welcome to this tutorial. Today it's all about plotting. So we are going to look at everything in that visualize section, which is bar plot, box plot, histogram, lines, scatter, and then some plot collectors, a plot, multiline, subplot node, and a combined figure node. Let's start again with the regression data set. We already know that. It has two columns, X and Y. Let's do a scatter plot, a line plot, and maybe a histogram for those. So connect it. So all these plot nodes come with one input and one output. The data is coming in and the figure itself is coming out. So in the scatter node, just choose what you want to plot. You can choose a color there. You can choose a marker size there. And if you double click or if you execute and double click, then you see the scatter plot. Same for the line, maybe in black, and for the histogram. Okay, so now if you want to combine plots, take a plot node. So you see here there's a little star at that input socket, and that star indicates that this node takes more than one input. Okay. If you don't see that star, please go to the settings section over there and make sure the socket annotation is checked. If it's not checked, you don't see anything. If it's checked, you do. So combine it in the plot, and that's what you get. The scatter and the line plot together. If you also want a histogram in there, we can do that. It's going to be a bit weird, of course. But anyway, so that's how you combine plots easily. Now, bar and box, it's better to use some categorical data set here. So we have that with simple categorical columns, month and category, and sales and profit as numbers. So let's do a bar plot and a box plot. In the bar plot, we want to plot month and sales, for example, or we do sales and profit and say stacked equals to true. So then that's how it looks. And in the box, we can actually do some grouping. If we set group equals to true, group it by month. And let's look at sales, group by month, and that's how it looks. Again, here you can take a plot node and connect the two if you want to combine them, which is of course going to be a bit weird. Also doesn't really make sense here, but just for the principle. If you have more complicated situations, you maybe want to use a subplot node. So with that, you can actually create a subplot out of a figure with a row and column index. So for example, if you want to plot the scatter, there's the scatter plot and the histogram plot. You can connect each of them to a subplot node and just tell it where to plot it. So let's say column index 3, and that one column index 2. And that goes into this combine figure node, executed, and that's what you see. Now we see an empty plot on the left. It's because we just told it index 1, 3 and 1, 2. There's a plot, but not at 1, 1. Let's just put one at 1, 1. Maybe the histogram. We got executed first because we need the subplot node executed. And here we go. So that's for the plotting. And the last one is that multi-line plot. This is just if you have many columns and you want to visualize them quickly. Take the California housing data set as an example. You can see there are a couple of columns, and if you want to visualize them all in a line plot, you can use that multi-line node. Select an X and a Y column. Let's take the first 3. If you execute that and look at it, it's all in one plot, but you can also set subplots to true, and then that's how it looks. Okay, standard subplots in one column. If you want to actually specify the position also in which subplot, so if I want to plot the first 2 in one and the third one in the second subplot, then we can specify a list here. Okay, and then that's how it looks. It's just for easy plotting to make life easier, especially if you have things like multidimensional time series. That comes in handy. So that's it for the plotting. We have looked at all the plotting functionalities. It's quite easy. Most importantly, there's always an output, and the output is where you can view the figures. And the input is always the data. That's it for plotting. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.